pay off some trivia. The question was, Tom Brady is older than which two presidents at the time of their inauguration? I'm going to turn it over to our analysts. Does anybody have a guess? Dan, you are itching to answer here.
One is the teddy bear.
Get in, UConn.
Teddy Roosevelt. That's
Okay.
easy.
All right.
Two is it's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
There is no safer bet in sports right now than Dan Orlovsky using Google over the past 4 minutes. With all due respect, you 100% Googled that, but well done by you, Dan Orlovsky. It was
Field,
indeed.
I'm from Connecticut.
That's true.
Of course I know Kennedy.
I'm impressed. Well done by
Look,
you.
do you not see those glasses, Field?
I know the glasses. Those are just fake smartness on Dan's eyes. Don't anybody take the bait on that one. At least we had Nina, because we knew she would have nailed it as well. So the Bucs made their first trip of the season. It was a road trip. They visited the White House on Tuesday to commemorate their Super Bowl title. And while most of the traveling party had their first appearance at the White House today, offensive tackle Donovan Smith reminded us that Tom Brady has been like once or twice before.
Hey, you got residency here?
What's up? You got residency here?
Pretty good point, actually, by Donovan Smith, as Tom Brady's been to the White House not one, not two, not three, not four, 5, 6, 7 times. We know he's, of course, won 7 separate Lombardi trophies. Not bad for a once unheralded prospect out of the University of Michigan. Time now for us to welcome in Jenna Lane, who was actually at the White House today. Jenna, tell us more about the events that took place today with the Super Bowl champs.
Field, the theme for today's Bucs White House celebration was the importance of coming together to do extraordinary things. President Joe Biden praised the Buccaneers for not folding and digging deep despite the fact that they were sitting at 7-5 towards the end of the season before they roared into the postseason, while also praising them for vaccinating over 200,000 people and conducting a voting registration drive. But there were some lighter moments too, between the oldest president to be inaugurated and the NFL's oldest active quarterback.
Tom, looking at you, got about 20 more years left. You're just about the best ever to play.
Sports has an amazing way of bringing people together. If you look at us, we're all a little bit different ages. I'm a little older than most of them. But we come from a lot of different places across the country, a lot of different schools, a lot of different backgrounds. But we love each other. We're committed to one another. And when you do that, amazing things happen.
Brady had plenty of jokes, including challenging 11 White House interns to a scrimmage on that South Lawn. He said, "We fully intend to run it up on you guys. Get ready to go." Back to you, Field.
Great stuff, Jenna. As always, Tom Brady can be cutthroat with a personal, lighthearted touch. All right, so Adam, you had Tom Brady's confidant and personal trainer and life coach, Alex Guerrero, on your podcast recently, and you asked him about Brady continuing to play until the age of 45. What were his thoughts?
Well, Alex said that Tom Brady had a stated goal at the beginning of his career to play until he's 45, and Tom turns 44 next month. So I asked Alex if that meant that Tom could be expected to play at least 2 more years. And Alex said that's the plan right now. Yes, that's what he expects. He believes that Brady will play at least 2 more years. So this very well may not be the last season for Tom Brady. He may have more opportunities at the White House. And the idea was to reach out to Alex Guerrero literally to talk about how he has been able to help Tom get to this spot. But of course, that came up during the course of the conversation. And if he thinks at least 2 more years, there's probably a pretty good chance that happens.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So, Mina, if Brady is still playing for at least 2 more years, how long can the Bucs keep this thing going?
Well, look, I made a rule for myself that I would never try to anticipate when Tom Brady is going to decline. So I'm not going to do that today. But what I can do is look at the roster. And something that's driven everyone crazy who roots for other teams over the summer is, how did the Bucs bring everyone back? It seems really unfair and impossible. Well, part of their ability to bring all of their stars back stems from the fact that they structured the contract so that they could fit them all under the roster now. But after this season, it gets a lot harder. For example, Shaq Barrett this year, his cap hit, star pass rusher, is $5 million. In 2022, that jumps to $19 million. We don't know the future for guys like Rob Gronkowski, Chris Godwin, who's playing on the tag this year. So, in my opinion, this roster is optimized to win this season, but beyond that, it will get a bit more challenging regardless of Tom Brady's status.
And
Yeah, you mentioned this season, Mina. So we all know that this is the team to beat in the NFC. And I think there's two things that, if they don't get back to the Super Bowl, could derail them. One is in their control, and one is out of their control. In their control is complacency. And my mind goes to that Giannis clip that went viral last week when he's in that post-game press conference. He's talking about, okay, when I think of the things I did in the past, I went from 40-10. In the Bucks case, it's like, oh, we just won the Super Bowl. That's their ego talking. And then them saying, well, we're going to go run it back or we're going to go win it. That's the pride talking. And as good of a job as they can of just being in the moment, that's their humility talking. And it's great that they've got Tom as the face of their franchise and the leader to make sure that everyone keeps that mindset, because it's brutally hard. I mean, we know it's brutally hard to try and win one game in the NFL. I know that very, very clearly. But to go and win back-to-back Super Bowls is even more challenging. So that's the one that they can control. The one that they can't control is the injuries. I mean, this team was as injury-free when it came to like really impactful guys last year as anybody in the NFL. They were the healthiest team in the NFL when it comes to games lost for their starters when it comes to injury. There's no surprise or no shock that they obviously went on to win the Super Bowl. It's unlikely that you keep that for 2 years in a row. That's out of their control. If they do, they'll be back in the Super Bowl.
Well, and as we know, the Bucs with Tom Brady should not get complacent, but we'll see. Every year is a new challenge. They begin their training camp. They report for training camp on Saturday. First practice is Sunday, July 25th. The countdown is officially on. Let's go back to Shefty and plenty of news and notes from around the league. Shefty, what do you have for us?
Well, interesting development last night out of Las Vegas. The longtime Raiders president, Mark Bedane, who's been with the organization for over 30 years, the right-hand man for Raiders owner Mark Davis, resigned last night. He said, once a Raider, always a Raider, but he felt like it was time to move on. He was in